Welcome, ladies, degenerates, and gentlemen, back to the DeGents Picks Pod. I'm here with my co-host, Big Rich. What's going on, brother?
Fosky, doing good, man. Doing good. Long night, little softball coaching. Feeling it. Currently 10:34 p.m. Wake up calls in a couple hours, so we're gonna run through it quickly tonight, but we got some picks for y'all. So let's get
Yes,
into
sir.
it.
We got a quick one, just for the fans. Did we win tonight or what?
Oh, softball?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We were down 9-1 in the second inning. We
Oh,
ended up coming back. Ended up winning 26-18, I think.
let's go.
A lot of runs.
Let's go.
A lot of runs.
All right. That is sweet. Good vibes to start it off.
Yes, sir.
So tough week last week for both of us in college. I
Brutal.
went
Brutal.
4-7. But 4-1 in NFL. So another good week in the NFL for me. The lay did not hit that I gave out at the end of the show. We missed on the Titans -2.5. They folded big time there. And the Saints did not cover. So not
Yeah.
quite. But that brings my total record for college to 26-33-3, and my total record for NFL 23-19-3. So not terrible, but college has not been kind to me, I'll tell you that.
No, yeah. I mean, not to me either this year, unfortunately. I mean, last year was my bread and butter. I felt really good last year about college football. This year has not been and not been too kind to me. I went 3-7 Friday through Saturday, and then 1-5 on the entire football slate on the week. So probably my worst week of the year, worst week in a while. But you know, that shit is gonna happen, and I'm not gonna shy away. This week, actually, I got I got the most amount of college plays this week. I tweeted out Mexico State last night. That hit. I got UTEP plus 6.5. They're up 17-14 at half. So I don't know. Things are feeling good, but I have a lot of plays in college. I haven't really dove into the NFL a whole lot yet. We're gonna run through the slate this during this pod, and if I love something, I'll give a play. But expect a tweet from me this weekend with my plays in NFL.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, you got to just keep it steady.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Yes,
I got
sir.
I got my picks for both, but we're gonna do a quick rundown, talk a little bit about college, and we'll start with Alabama sneaking out a win at home versus South Carolina. I mean, arguably they shouldn't have won this game, but somehow they pull out a miracle. They win 27-25. That was a crazy game in the early slate. Wisconsin 42-7 over Rutgers. I had Rutgers money line. That was a tough one. Wisconsin seems to be catching a little bit of fire here. And then before we go to the Red River, we had Penn State coming back on USC. USC blows another second half lead. Penn State wins 33-30, and the Red River was 34-3 in favor of Texas. Tough one for the over there, but Oklahoma sucks on offense, so could have seen that one coming. I don't know. It's kind of more of a fun bet for me personally, but
Yeah, I mean, it's if you're the only reason why I didn't bet the under, like I loved the under this week. I didn't bet the under because it was the Red River rivalry. Like what sour MFer is going to go out there and bet the under in that Red River game? Like, what are we doing?
yeah, I can't do it.
It
Just
was
can't
actually
do it.
it just seemed like one of those games where like Texas's defense is obviously elite. Oklahoma's defense is definitely good, but you know obviously Texas scored a good amount of points on them, but still 34-3 game went way under. I liked it, but like I said earlier, no one's betting the under in that one.
You can't. You
No.
can't. And you almost don't even feel good when you hit it either.
Yeah, it's like, damn. I wanted to see some
Yeah, it's
points.
tough.
Yeah.
Um, moving on though, ND blows out Stanford. They move along. They're just outside the top 10. Pitt, we actually, or I did, I bet Pitt's under season total wins. They beat California 17-15 at home this week, and they are inside the top 25. That's pretty crazy to me. And it
Yeah,
makes
it
me feel
is.
like shit for betting the under. Another one that was close, I think Illinois looking ahead to Michigan this week. They won 50-49 over Purdue at home in overtime. Bit of a look ahead, but they hold off the spoiler makers.
Mhm.
Um, Thriller there. And then obviously we have to mention Oregon, Ohio State. What a banger of a game. I mean, it was a great slate overall.
Mhm.
Even Ole Miss LSU. LSU sneaks out the win 29-26. Overall, great slate of college football. But a couple games there got scary for a while.
Yeah, great Saturday of college football. It's one of those weekends where it's such a great slate, and when you don't have the best day, it kind of leaves a sour taste in your mouth. It's like, oh, it could have been what could have been, but I did well in the latter half of the day. I literally went 0-6 to start the day, and then finished out 3-1, which saved me. But um, the hit Oregon, I hit LSU, so not a bad way to end the day. I thought that I gained a little momentum heading into Sunday, but Sunday was tough. It was a tough day.
Yeah, and a couple more before we move on. Vandy upsets Kentucky in Kentucky 20-13. That loss not looking so bad for Bama now.
No,
Uh,
definitely not.
Colorado loses by 3 at home against Kansas State. That was one of the picks that I was contemplating, but I believe they were laying 4 or 5, which they did not cover, obviously. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Tennessee, another top 25, beats Florida at home 23-17. But hey, I think the big story is Vandy. That quarterback's legit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Against a great Kentucky defense, or what has proven to be a great Kentucky defense so far this season. And they go out on the road and win that game after a game where they just beat the number one overall seed. So that's very impressive.
Very, very impressive. It's you kind of think after they beat Alabama, like, yeah, just one of the better upsets, and then um, they come out this week and dominate. And early the week one, they came out and they beat a pretty solid Virginia Tech team. So yeah, Vandy's definitely not the same Vandy from years prior. Pavia definitely is definitely a difference maker for that team. But I thought Kentucky was a good spot. I thought those guys were going to be all hungover as shit still and not playing and
Yeah, me too. I was on it with you.
kind of packing it in, but Kentucky no show.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah.
But props to Vandy. That's pretty much it for college. That's the marquee spots to mention. Let's move on to the NFL. A little bit of a recap here. Um, I guess we'll start with our hometown New England Patriots. They lost by 20 at home against the Texans, but Drake May threw 3 touchdown passes. And I have to say, I'm pretty pleased with the way that it went.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was the first time the Patriots scored more than 20 points this season. So it's a good sign there. I mean, that touchdown pass that he threw to Kayshawn at the end of the first half there, it was the first time that I like stood up and like been excited for a Patriot. Like when was the last time we had more than a 10-yard touchdown? I mean, that might be exaggerating a little bit, but like when was the last time
No,
that
it's definitely hard to remember for sure.
when was the last time we could get up and be like, let's go? Like it's been a minute, and it's been a while since I felt like that. And I even looked at my girlfriend Shannon, and I was pumped, and she could attest to it, and she could probably say the same thing. It's been a long time since I've been excited for a Pats football game, offensively especially. But yeah, obviously the defense. I mean, they're not a great team. Defense sucks. Um, Giving up 41 points, you're not going to win many games. But definitely a bright spot
No,
there.
and I never expected them to win that game, but I saw the flashes that I wanted to see from Drake, and
Exactly.
I feel good about it.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, he's a rookie, and I mean that first pick was not a great pick. You just kind of let it sail a little bit, and you can kind of tell a few other passes. Like there was another one to Demario across the middle that was kind of behind him, and a couple of passes
Yeah,
that were kind of off the back shoulder. So obviously some stuff that he's got to tidy up. I don't think it was an A plus debut. I would give it like a B plus, A minus. But yeah, definitely something to look forward to though. You can see the potential there
yeah, definitely gets me excited to watch.
for sure.
Once he got settled in, it looked like a product that I can get up every Sunday and be excited to watch. So
Yeah,
good signs there. I mean, I don't think even if you played an A plus game, we were going to win that game. The Texans are now 5-1, sneakily,
yeah,
low key. I mean, feels like they're not being talked about, but they're now 5-1, and they look really good. But let's move on here. Another rookie quarterback, Caleb Williams, played very well in London, absolutely demolished the Jags, and that kind of ties into our next week. Uh, Jags and Patriots play in London. The Jags got absolutely smoked, and I was on the Jags, so that makes me feel like shit. But
correct.
I
Same.
don't know. We got an interesting line there. Caleb and the Bears look really good, and the Jags looked really, really bad. So that was an interesting game to start off the morning. And then we had a good 1 o'clock slate. Um, Ravens Commanders was a pretty good game. It seemed like the Ravens were mostly in command, but the Commanders only lost by 7. So they were right there, just a couple plays away. But Ravens have been dominant. Browns continued to be in the grave against the Eagles, who also don't really seem very good to me. And Sirianni was barking at the fans. That was a weird one.
Yeah, quite
Um,
embarrassing, to be honest.
I agree. I don't really. I mean, they won by 4 points against Deshaun Watson and the Browns, and
At
he was
home.
barking back at the fans. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they were saying fire Sirianni, and he got
Yeah.
pissed. I don't know. He's
Yeah.
just a weirdo to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a weird move on his end. You know, you got to be a little more professional than that, in my opinion. But
It'd be one thing if they won 50-16, but they won 20-16.
yeah, like you were a play or two away from losing that football game.
They were a 9-point favorite. They won by 4.
Yeah. Yeah, if it weren't
So,
for Devontae Smith making that great touchdown, like they're probably losing that game. But
hmm
yeah, definitely a
yeah,
weird move from Sirianni.
I agree, and I'm concerned about the Eagles moving forward for sure.
Oh, big time, dude. Absolutely.
But go rewinding a little bit, I think the Commanders are legit.
Um, yeah, I'd say they legit is a strong word here.
Well, I'm not talking about
Like,
winning a Super Bowl legit, but I'm talking about like they can compete in that NFC. I mean,
yeah, I see what
if
you're
they get
saying.
in the dance, Jaden is that guy.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. I'm kind of waiting for the rookie to come out of them here and there. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't really. shown yet, but he's an older guy. He's played a lot of college ball, and
Played a
he's
lot of college ball.
so I mean it's not like he's a fresh redshirt freshman backup and then 1 year of college ball, then in the NFL. So he's played a lot in college. So I mean he has a lot of experience, not in the NFL, but you know what I'm trying to say. But I'm still kind of waiting for that rookie to come out of him. Like what like one of those big mistakes going to come.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
of course. I
but
mean, but one big mistake won't make the difference over a season. I'm more concerned
yeah,
about the defense for them. I think he can
yeah,
lead them to a playoff berth for sure.
yeah, offensively for sure. Yeah, defense has to
Defense
kind of
is
step, but
terrible.
yeah,
Defense is terrible.
definitely not good. I mean,
Yeah,
but like, looking back on it, they're giving up what like 30. It was a week one. They got almost 40 to the Bucks. Like the Bucks are a good team. They're good offense.
crazy good offense.
Ravens are good offense. And other than that, I mean they've kind of held other teams in check, but I don't know. I'm kind of waiting. I'm kind of waiting for that Commander skid, that midseason skid. Once they get into the division a little more, like a Cowboys Eagles back to back or whatever. I don't know their schedule off the top of my head, but um, once they get into division play and if they start rattling off a couple wins, that's when I'll kind of start to believe in them a little bit more. Um, but yeah, I mean definitely better than what they've been in the past. That's for sure.
I don't disagree with you about division play, but let's look through their division right now. Cowboys are terrible. Eagles are fraudulent. And the Giants are the Giants with Daniel Jones. I mean, they could easily
Yeah,
win this division.
yeah, they could. They could. I mean,
They
it's
don't
still
have to be perfect by any means to be
no,
division
no.
winners.
Yeah, I mean they could end up with 10 wins and win the division.
Hmm.
So I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I don't think they're going to compete with. I mean, the Niners are only what 3-3,
Hmm.
2-3, or something. I'm
Three and
trying to
three
say
now.
that. What like are they in a? I just don't see them as a home team plus round one playoff team. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think they're that good yet. We'll see. We'll see though.
They are currently the 4 seed in the NFC. Minnesota, Detroit, Atlanta, Washington, Tampa Bay, Green Bay, Chicago
That's actually crazy.
from top down, which is crazy. But
Let's say
anyways, let's
that's
move
a
on.
crazy playoff picture.
Yeah, I know. Uh, Crazy game. Packers roll over the Cards, but crazy game in New Orleans. This game was 24-27 at half. Spencer Rattler first start, and then the Bucks score 27 unanswered in the second half to win 51-27. Um, I thought it was going to be good all the way. They just came out of nowhere. Another one that was kind of crazy. Um, Colts at Titans. Didn't expect Joe Flacco to be the guy, but he was. And they win 20-17. Chargers commanded the game against the Broncos. They were up 20-0 at one point. Final score 23-16. Not as close as it seems. The Steelers ran all over the Raiders. Speaking of that, we failed to mention that Devontae Adams is now a Jet as of yesterday, I believe.
Yeah.
And same with Amari Cooper to the Bills. So a couple
Mhm.
trades about 3 weeks out from the trade deadline. Um, we'll get to the Jets in a second here, but Lions roll over the Cowboys 47-9. Again, getting back to that NFC East. The Cowboys suck.
Yeah, they're not. They have no run game. Um, Dak Prescott continues to make those just bonehead mistakes in the red zone there, and their defense just isn't good. It's
No, their defense is terrible. Might be worse than the Commanders.
how in the world is Mike McCarthy still the coach of this team?
Jerry Jones is a very loyal man.
I understand, but then and I don't know, but he's always saying like how he needs to be alive for them to win another Super Bowl or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like if if that's the case, Mike McCarthy ain't getting you a motherfucking Super Bowl, man. I think offensively, I mean, honestly, no, I don't even think because they have Lamb and their
No, they suck.
wide receiver
The
two is what
Cowboys are not a good
Tolbert.
team.
Like they're not a good team. Top to bottom, they're not deep. You know, they have
Brandon Cooks just went on IR. They're not a good team.
exactly. They're not a good team. I gotta start looking at them in that way. I gotta stop seeing them with short spreads and being like, oh, Cowboys short spread. Like, come on.
Nope, they're
No,
not good.
they're not a good team.
Speaking of not good, Panthers lose 38-20 to the Falcons. The
Uh,
Falcons play with their food a little bit in this game, but
yeah.
end up winning in the end. And then Sunday night, Bengals 17-7 over the Giants in a snooze fest. Uh, Bengals get a much needed win, but realistically, I think that game could have gone either way. It was just very, very boring. And then Monday night, Bills Jets. Bills squeak out a win 23-20 thanks to the kickers, specifically Greg Zuerlein. The Jets could have won that game easily. And Aaron Rodgers goes into press conference and blames his wide receivers once again. No news there.
Yeah, Rogers is a prick, dude.
He's the worst.
It's one. I don't know. It's one
He's
of those things.
it. I would like to see him. Brees Hall early in the game dropped a third down pass on the sideline. They were like 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3.
Yeah,
Dropped a pass on an out route, on an option route to the sideline, and he just walks off the field with his chin strap off and just shakes his head in disgust. Dude's been in the league for fucking Brees Hall's been in the league for 2 years. Like, go over there and be like, hey, you got this. You're fine. You're fucking. He's one
yeah,
of the best backs in the league. Go over, pick him up for once. Don't sit on the fucking bench and pout like a fucking little kid.
yeah,
He just has the worst attitude, and I mean that's not going to work in New York. If nothing else works in New York, negativity is not going to help. So I don't know. I hate watching him,
yeah,
and now they have Devontae Adams, so he's got his guy, and they're probably still going to lose. So
yeah,
just he sucks.
yeah. And it's one of those things. I feel like he's obviously Rogers is I don't know where I'd rank him, but a top quarterback
He's an
in
amazing
history.
talent.
Amazing
He can
talent,
throw the ball almost better
hundred
than
percent.
anyone we've ever seen, but
Yes, 100%.
you can't do it by yourself.
No, 100%. But I feel like he's like all these stories about Brady, how hard he was on these receivers and stuff like that, and I feel like he's trying to do that, but it's just he's not doing it the right way.
He's not
Like
doing it the right way.
yeah, like Brady would lead by example. Like instead of going and pound to the sideline, he would grab the iPad or whatever, and he'd be looking, just immediately watching film. You know what I'm saying? And he was the first guy in, first guy out every single day in practice. That's how you lead by example. Like Aaron Rodgers doing all these podcasts and talking about all the psychedelics and all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think he's 100% bought into the team. I think he's 100% bought into himself, but I just don't think he's 100% bought into his team.
Oh, he's
You
definitely
know,
100% bought into himself.
but
But
and like
that's the
that's
problem.
that's the exactly, and that's the difference between him and a guy like Brady. Like Rodgers throwing a football, I mean, debatably could probably debatably a better pure thrower
We
of a
saw the Hail
football.
Mary.
You know, yeah, he's debatably a better
Could
pure thrower of the
could
football than
be the
Brady.
best thrower of a football ever.
Yeah,
But to me, he's not a leader.
no, exactly, and that's why
And
when he was in Green Bay, they would always come up short. That's the same thing over and over again. He's not a leader. Not a leader. Blames everyone else. Blames his coaching staff. We didn't call the right plays. We didn't do this. This guy dropped the ball. He ran the wrong route. And Brady was like, "Wow, it's a team game." we lost to the
Hmm.
team. You know.
Yeah, and for example, I saw a clip of Matthew Stafford after shit. Who was it? Wasn't Kyron? It was I don't know. Either way, um, it was a young player on the Rams. Stafford was anticipating a throw behind him for him to sit in the zone, and he kept going. Stafford came over, gave him a pat on the hat. He's like, "Hey, I need you here. You're good. Good job." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then another clip, same game, threw it to Tutu Atwell. He dropped it. Next play comes right back to him. He's like, "Fucking good job."
Yeah.
That's a leader.
100%.
You never see Aaron Rodgers go up to Brees Hall or Garrett Wilson after a miscue or a drop pass or a miscommunication.
No.
He just goes to the sideline and gets pissed off. So that's not how you win football games. But I digress. That is our NFL recap. Recap. Crap. You see where I'm going there? And Aaron Rodgers is crap.
Yeah. That word's just been in your mind for the last 5 minutes talking about Rodgers. So,
Yeah. I mean, I love to see the Jets lose, and I know how good Aaron Rodgers is. It just aggravates me. It's like you could be so much better, but you just want to be an asshole. So
yeah. No,
that
yeah.
that's on you.
Oh, yeah. It's unbearable. It's unbearable to watch at points.
All right. So now we get into our picks. Tonight is Wednesday, October 16th. There is a few college games tomorrow. I do have a pick in one of them.
All right. Let's hear it.
You have anything on Thursday?
No, sir.
All right, my Thursday pick for college football is the under in Virginia Tech, BC at 49.5. It could have changed, but I couldn't tell you because I'm in Mass. When I looked it up yesterday, it was 49.5. So I'm taking the under in that game. And that is it for me until Saturday.
Let me let me pull up my DK and double check that number.
Yes, please,
Um,
because I cannot see that.
yeah. 48.5 right now.
I will still take that.
Yeah. I see. I like actually I like Boston College in that one. Not a play, but I lean them plus a 7.5. Tech just hasn't really had the game where they're going to put their foot down, where they put their foot down. I think Boston College is still a pretty viable team up and down their roster. Plus 7.5, I'd go that way.
Yeah, and that
But
makes me like the under even more.
yes, sir. Not a play though. Not a play. What do you got? You got
And
anything
I
Friday?
got no, I got nothing on Friday. There is a good game though. Oregon and Purdue.
Yeah. And
Uh,
then Oak State, BYU.
yep,
I got
undefeated BYU laying 9 at home.
I got two plays in this game. Two plays in these games. A play in each.
You got to play in each. All right.
Yeah, I got Purdue plus 27
Oof.
off just Ohio State. Oregon off the big win off Ohio State. Purdue lost last week against Illinois, but put up a fantastic fight, 49-50. Oregon has Illinois next week, and then Michigan the week after that. I think this is just one of those spots where it's a little sandwich spot. Purdue on the road, traveling from Oregon. It's kind of a sleeper spot. 27 points. I gotta take Purdue with 27.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a lot. The only reason I don't like it is because last week against Illinois, Illinois is looking ahead to Michigan this week,
mhm.
and I think they laid a bit of an egg. Is all. I don't think Purdue is that good. That's the
No, I
only
mean
reason I wouldn't take
definitely not.
27.
Definitely not. I would like when if you asked me what the number would have been before even looking at it, I would have presumed it to be at least 30, 31 and a half ish, low
Yeah.
30s. But I don't know, this spot and 4 touchdowns, give or take a point, is a lot. And Purdue showed that they score the ball a little bit last week against an Illinois team. Defensively has been pretty good. So kind of
No, I agree.
rocking with that one. And then Oklahoma State +9 at BYU. Um, I'm gonna try to keep betting against BYU until they show us that.
6-0.
Until, yeah, I know, dude. 13 in the country, man. Their preseason win total is 4.5. Oak State. I
Yeah.
mean, I see Oak State playing a little better. They've been shaky. They've been very very shaky. But 10 points.
Yeah, I know. I've been betting on them. I've been betting on them, and they're now on my kill list. So
Yeah,
I hate this game.
I know.
If
But
I was going to bet it, I would take Oak State, but they've done me wrong too many times this year. So no thanks.
I can just see the potential with the team. They're just not putting it all together. And BYU is great defensively. Offensively, they struggle. So I think Oklahoma State keeps it close, and 10 points is a lot. And I'll take that. That's all I got for Friday.
2 dogs on Friday. Nice.
Yeah, it's a dog. It's a dog week, in my opinion.
I got a few of them too, but I don't start until noon. I got 2 picks at noon, so let me rattle those off. I have Wisconsin -7.
Okay.
They are at Northwestern. It's up to 7.5 on DK. I'll be buying it to 7. Northwestern can't score, and I think Wisconsin has kind of caught some fire here in the past couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They blew out who they play last week. They blew out whoever they played last week.
Rutgers.
Rutgers, yes, and I was on Rutgers money line, so a little bit of the opposite direction. But ever since they got blown out by Bama, Wisconsin has played good, and Wisconsin cannot score. Northwestern, excuse me, cannot score for their life.
Mm-hmm.
And then my other nooner is Arizona State +7 at Cincinnati. That line has moved now to +5, but I will still take the points with Arizona State. And I don't think Cincy's that good. And Arizona State is 4-2 or 5-1 against the spread this season. So I like Arizona State getting points.
Gotcha.
And that's it for me for nooners.
I got two. I got 2 nooners as well. I got Wake Forest +2 traveling to UConn. I think it's a spot where UConn can kind of fall asleep a little bit. And then my next nooner is Louisville, Miami under 61.5. It's a lot of points. I think Louisville keeps it close. And I think this game falls in the high 40s, low 50s. There's going to be some points scored, but 61.5 it's a lot of points.
That's it for nooners?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Let me just double check. Cause I got Missouri. Yeah, Missouri's not till later. So, all right. Yeah, that's it for nooners.
All right. What do I got? I have 4. No, I got 3 plays at 3:30. A team we talked about a little bit already.
I lied.
Excuse me.
I lied.
Go ahead. What do you got? You got another nooner?
Missouri's at noon.
Yes, they are
Missouri.
actually.
I don't know why I thought they were later. Missouri is hosting. What are they? Auburn. They're Auburn Tigers, and I got them -4.5. I believe is what I got them in at. line might have changed at this point. Why is this not popping? Oh, yeah, they're 4.5 currently, minus 108. They went up to UMass and kicked the living shit out of the Minutemen. And I just Auburn, and not the same Auburn as old. And I think Missouri comes home. And it's kind of a
No,
statement game for them in the SEC, trying to get back on track after getting smoked by A&M a few weeks ago. So, too short of a number, I think. 4.5. I think they win this game by a tutty, at least.
yeah, I lean that way too, but I believe Missouri has Alabama next week is the only reason I laid off.
They do. They put travel to Alabama next week.
That is the only reason I did not take that with you.
Fusky, I'm usually all over that shit.
Hey, I've been shit in college, so I'm trying to do better at focusing on just everything I can find.
Yeah.
UMass is nothing. They should have beat them by what they did, and I don't know. I wanted to take Missouri, but then I saw they had Alabama next week, so I laid off. Trying to be better in college. I've been shit in college, been good in NFL, so I'm trying to dial in here.
Yeah, but then you look. I'm looking at it from the other perspective too. So Auburn, they actually covered last week again at Georgia,
I know Auburn
and
sucks. I
then
know.
I know, but they did cover, and then now they're going to another good team, Missouri, and then the following week they go to Kentucky. So they're in the sandwich of a 3 straight away stretch here. So I feel like
Yeah.
they're kind of dogging it a little bit. I know Missouri plays Alabama next week. But that's still a play for me. I like it. Missouri minus 4.5.
Okay.
All right,
All
we
right.
can
So I'll
roll on into the
do my
330s.
three
Oh,
plays at.
I lied again. Don't
Would
hate
you
me.
fucking quit it?
Did I lied again? I'm sorry. Nebraska plus 6.5 at Indiana.
Oof. Yeah, I looked at that game, but I can't play it. I've been betting on Indiana all season long,
I know,
and
I know you have been.
I'm gonna sit back and watch. I'm gonna watch Signetti and his his Indiana Hoosiers cook, hopefully. But I'm rooting for you. I had to lay off that one. That one scared me.
Yeah, no, I just think it's going to be being low. I lean the under as well. I think it's going to be low scoring and a low scoring conference matchup, 6.5 point spread against the Indiana team who obviously are much improved from years past, but it's still Indiana football at the end of the day. And I mean, I don't think they've really been too battle tested. I mean, their toughest game was, I mean, I don't even know. I mean, Maryland, Northwestern, UCLA is all they've played in conference so far. I don't think they've been too tested. They've been dominant in all their games, but I don't think they've been too tested.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
like them
So
to win, but I won't be laying 6.5. Is kind of where I'm
correct.
at with that game.
Yeah, I gotcha. I
They're really
gotcha.
fucking good. They are, but I'm not laying 6.5.
Yeah,
Are
let me
you
just
sure you're done with Nooners now?
is a 12:45 game. Does that count?
Yeah, it counts because I don't have enough until 3:30.
Oklahoma minus 1.5, hosting South Carolina.
Mm, I
South
looked at that one too.
Carolina. South Carolina was at Bama last weekend. They covered, almost won the game outright. Oklahoma off a tough loss. They're hosting South Carolina. It's one of those good spots. I think Oklahoma at the end of the day, top to bottom, is a better team, and 1.5. I'm basically betting them to win. I think they win this game.
No, I don't hate it. I was just a little hesitant
Yeah, I mean,
after
I
the.
hate it. I hate it because it's Oklahoma. Fuck Oklahoma, but
Yeah, well, I know you're a Texas fan and that's why you hate it, but I hate it more because South Carolina, I feel like, has strung a few really good games together in the past few
mhm.
weeks.
Oh, I mean, definitely, definitely. I mean, they
Uh,
have a pretty solid resume built up to this point. I mean,
yeah, and their defense is good, and I'm not sure how much I trust in Oklahoma's offense. Is the only reason why I didn't play
yeah,
that game.
that's a good point there too.
It's a
Their
short price
offense,
for Oklahoma, and I leaned that way. But once I looked into a little bit of stats, I just kind of held me off a little bit.
gotcha.
Um, you good until 3:30?
Um, sure. Yeah,
You
yeah.
gonna
I,
re
I'm.
you
I,
gonna rewind on me again?
let me. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good until 3:30. Yep, 3:30 is my next play.
All right. I have three at 3:30, and then I have three at 7, and that's it for me. So I'll do my 3:30s right now, and I'll
Yep.
let you go. I got Illinois plus 3.5 at home hosting Michigan. I think
Ooh.
Illinois was looking ahead a bit to this game against Purdue. Um, I think they're going to bounce back, and I think the environment at Illinois is good enough with the kind of mid Michigan offense that they can keep this game close. And I'll take the 3.5 points at home all day. Next pick is Cal minus the 10. NC State is 0-7 against the spread this season, and now they're going from North Carolina to California, Northern California,
Mm.
against a good Cal team. In my opinion, I know they lost to Pitt last week, but Pitt
Yeah,
has surprised a lot of
a
people.
a good Cal team hungry for a win right now.
Yes, exactly. They got boned against Miami, and then they lost against Pitt in a low scoring game. I'm gonna lay the 10 with them at home against. I bet against NC State last week also. But 0-7 ATS is pretty much all I have to see, and then the travel is big this year, in my opinion. I mean,
Oh yeah,
with the conference realignment, teams that go across the country just don't. They're not. It takes a lot out of you, and you just don't show up. So I'm gonna lay the 10 there. And my last 3:30 is Tennessee plus 3 at home against Bama. Um, you could argue this is a Bama bounce back spot, but they've played too many close games for me in the past couple weeks. I know they beat Georgia, but I don't think Georgia is the Georgia of past. And I think this is a huge game for Tennessee in the SEC. So I'll take 3 at home with them.
I like it. I like it a lot because I am right there with you at Tennessee plus the 3. Um,
Nice.
kind of a similar thought process there. Like at first, I was like it's gonna be probably a bit of a bounce back spot, but it's that I feel like that's kind of just all wiped off the table with but I mean Tennessee's number 11 in the country, but basically a top 10 matchup in the SEC. You know, Tennessee's hosting. They're gonna come out to play. They're gonna be ready to rock and roll. Bama's been struggling as
Mm-hmm.
of late. I think they'll definitely come more ready to play against a Tennessee team, but um, I don't know. I think it's a close game. It's gonna be a good battle. The home dogs in these conference matchups has been the way to go as of late. So I'm gonna try to ride that, and that's why I'm going with Tennessee plus the 3.
Let's go.
I got Kansas minus 5.5. I believe that's what
Mm,
it is currently on DK. They're hosting Houston. Kansas. Let's run through their schedule real quick. They're 1-5 with an
yeah.
opening an
Bef-
opening win
before you
against.
go through, before you go through the whole thing, do you remember we did a run through of the conference, and or at least I did. I put in future for Kansas over 8 wins.
Yeah, that's not good.
Cooked.
Yeah, that's
Minus
cooked.
135 too.
Yeah, it's absolutely cooked. Yeah,
Same with Oklahoma State. We put them in for the
but
Big 12 champ. Not
yeah,
quite.
it's not looking good.
Nope.
Not looking good. That's okay though.
It's tough.
But as I was saying, Kansas sucks now. 48-3, they opened up against Lindenwood. I don't even know if they're Division One. I don't even know if that should count as a win. They won
No.
48 to they won 48-3. But so they travel to Illinois, lose by 6, close game. Home against UNLV, a good UNLV team. They lost 23 to
That was
20.
a Friday night game,
Yeah.
right?
So yeah, exactly. Yes, it was. It was a Friday night game. So both of
Yeah.
those teams, when they played them, they weren't ranked, but both of them are now ranked. So it's one of those things where it's like at first it was like not a crazy tough schedule, but ended up being more of a tough schedule. After
Hmm.
UNLV, they traveled to West Virginia and lost by 4. Played TCU, lost by 11 at home. Not a great loss. And then last week, to Arizona State. To all of our surprise, Arizona State's been playing great. Their head coach is awesome. They lost by 4. So they've been in every single game. They've just been on the wrong side of every single game. And Houston is brutal. They are absolutely awful. Before beating TCU last week, 30-19, they lost 20-0 against Iowa State and then 34-0 against Cincinnati. So they're not a good team. I think Kansas kind of I wouldn't say finds their groove, but I think if they play the way that they play, this game shouldn't be as close as what their games this season have been. So I think taking them to win by at least a touchdown here is the right way to go.
If there was a spot, that this is the spot. I wouldn't disagree with you there.
Mhm. I just can't see it. I can't see it happening.
You got Colorado. That's a 4 o'clock.
I got a 4 o'clock. It's not Colorado. I got
Baylor,
Tech.
Texas Tech.
I got Texas Tech -6 hosting Baylor. And then I got nothing until 7. So yeah,
Okay.
Texas Tech -6 that's an official play.
All right. My sevens are Arkansas plus the 3 hosting LSU. LSU defense is just not playing out, not good. And I really don't think their QB is that good, even after beating Ole Miss last week.
Yeah.
We've known to see Ole Miss just fold in the SEC. So I'll take 3 points at home with Arkansas. My next one at 7 o'clock. I believe this is a 7:30 or 7:45, but it's still in that window. I'm taking Kentucky money line at Florida. And then my last one is Texas. Any way I can get them. It was 5 points when I saw it today.
Yeah.
They're obviously hosting Georgia. It's still 5 points. I'll take Texas minus the 5. If it comes down a little bit, I'll buy it to 3 at a reasonable price. Yeah, that's my 7 o'clocks.
There you go. I'm not betting Texas. I'm literally sitting there. I'm going to watch that game as a fan.
Fair enough. I got that's it for me in college.
Okay. I got Tennessee I said that already. I got Arkansas +3 at
Yep,
LSU.
we're on the same page there.
Yeah,
Yep,
good spot. I got West Virginia +3. They are hosting Kansas State. Kansas
Kansas.
State. Yeah,
Yep.
Kansas State's on the back to back of road games. I remember I was talking last week on the pod saying I wanted to take West Virginia last week, but I was going to wait and definitely play them this week just based on that spot. Give me the 3 points with West Virginia. I really like it. Stanford +14.5.
Oof. We're dirty.
I
They're at
hate it.
16 on DK.
16. SMU with a massive win on the road at Louisville the week prior. 2 weeks ago. It's actually after a bye week. But it's in a sandwich spot of 3 straight road games because after this week they go to Duke. So I don't know. I like the sandwich spot with Stanford. Give me the points. I mean, do I really like it? No, but it's a spot and I'll bet it. Or then I got Oregon State +7 hosting UNLV. Yeah, fuck UNLV. They fucked me last week. Dude, that was unbelievable. They were up 41-7, minus 19, and I woke up the next morning and they didn't cover, and it was just the worst start to my day. I tweeted out, I tweeted this. I was like, if that's not a bad start to your week, then I don't know what is. And I
That's
ended up
brutal.
having an awful week. So UNLV set the tone for me last weekend, and Oregon State is going to set the tone by beating the brakes off of UNLV, and it's going to give me good juju going into the weekend.
Let's go.
Let's go. Come on.
Okay, so that was college football, and we move on to the NFL. The King, as always, and we have a Thursday night game. This one seemed a bit too obvious to me. It's Denver at New Orleans. Spencer Rattler is the starter. Rashid Shaheed is out for the season. Chris Olave is out for the game with a concussion. The Saints with no receivers against the good Denver Broncos defense. I like the Broncos minus the 3. Pat Surtain is also out with concussion, but I think their defense is good enough to cover no receivers. So I'm going to take the Broncos minus the 3. Seems a bit too
Um,
obvious, but I still like it.
yeah, I mean, I kind of lean that way as well. Um, just off by looking at it and hearing all that. I mean, you take away the Saints' second quarter of that game the other day, and they lose that game by 50 points. They scored 27 points in the
Yeah,
second
no,
quarter, and that was it. That's all they scored. So, although I did think Rattler didn't look all too bad, right? Like
no, he didn't look bad.
I thought he showed some promise, but at the end of the day,
Got
this
nobody to
Bron-
throw to. That's the
exactly
problem.
no one to throw to. This Broncos defense will definitely give him some fits. So, I definitely lean that way.
Yeah, I'm going to take it. Uh, the line went from 2 to 3 after that news. So I'm going to grab it now at 3. And then we have another London game, and it is our beloved New England Patriots in London against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have been there for a week and a half to 2 weeks. And the Jags are laying 5.5 with a total set at 42.5. Um, I am on the Patriots plus the 5.5 right now. If I can get a decent price at 7, I will buy that. But the Jags have shown me nothing, especially after last week when I bet on them and they got blown out by the Bears. So they're on my kill list, and Drake May is starting at quarterback. So I'm going to take the Patriots plus the points. If you can buy it to 7, do it at a reasonable price, but I'll take them at 5.5 anyways.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place on this one because 5.5 after the Jags got absolutely pissed on, like it makes me want to take the Pats, but I mean, the Jags have been there. They're probably at this point fully, what's the word I'm looking for?
Dead?
No, I'm saying like with the whole like time change, like they're fully acclimated to that at this point. Pats are coming over. I don't know when Pats are traveling over. Hopefully sooner than later, but um, I feel like that definitely plays a factor. I lean the over. I lean the Pats, but um, I'm not playing the Pats. I told myself I wasn't going to play them this year. I played them last week and they lost, so I'm it's not going to do it. Just going to hold to it for the rest of the year. There's no Pats betting even against them for that matter.
Fair enough.
Um, over 42.5 could potentially be a play though. So um, I don't have any, like I said earlier in the pod, I don't have anything listed and punched in yet as of right now. But I will definitely have a tweet out by Sunday with all my plays. There'll be a few.
Yeah, also no ETN. So that's another
Yeah.
reason why I like the Patriots.
I mean, yeah, I feel that, but honestly, I think Bigsby has looked better this year, nonetheless.
Yeah, I hate the Jags. They suck. They're not good. And Drake May showed me promise against a good Texans defense. So
Yeah, he did. He absolutely did. And that's why I like the
I'll
over.
take the points. I
I
thought
think
London was going to give the Jags a bit of a boost, and it did not. So
it did not. It definitely didn't.
next game, Lions at Vikings in a 1 o'clock spot. This may be the best game,
Nope.
but it's actually a really good slate overall.
Yeah.
One of the two best games at 1 o'clock, period. Never mind the whole slate. But
Yeah.
Lions are getting 1.5 uh, in Minnesota with a total set at 51. I don't have a play here, but I'm excited to watch.
Oh, absolutely. Am I excited to watch, man? That is going to be a fantastic game.
Vikings off a
Um,
bye as well.
Vikings off a bye, Lions off a huge win against a bad Cowboys team. So, I mean, is this a kind of fade the Lions after a massive win type of deal?
I was
Do we?
leaning the other way. I wanted to take the Lions, but
I
I
know
did not.
that's the thing is I'm trying. I think I'm thinking too hard here. I'll find something in this game. This is a really good one. I'm definitely gonna be watching no matter what, whether I have money on it or not. But yeah, man. I mean, the Vikings have clearly showed 5-0 that they're good enough. I don't think Darnold, I mean, is good enough to lead them to a Super Bowl, but um, I think he's good enough to keep them winning football games and maybe a playoff win or two here and there. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, divisional game. And before we move on, I have to mention that the Packers at 4-2 are in the last place in the NFC North.
Yeah, it's insane.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Bears and Packers are 4-2. Minnesota Vikings 5-0. Detroit Lions four
four
and
and one,
one.
4-1 with a bye week.
Yes,
Yeah.
because they already had their bye.
Mhm.
Uh, that division is stacked. This should be a very close game.
Mhm.
But I could not pull the trigger on the Lions. Vikings off a bye. I think Aaron Jones is still questionable as well. So
Mhm.
that could sway a lot of things. But let's move on to Tennessee at Buffalo. This is the biggest spread of the week. Buffalo laying 9 off a 3-point win to the Jets on Monday night. So a bit of a short week. Total set at 41. I do not have a play here. What do you think about this game?
I honestly don't think the Bills played great the other night. I think they were lucky to win that football game. I think the Titans should have won that football game the other day against the Colts. They ended up losing. It's one of those things where I think like the Titans are kind of riding the coattails of the second year quarterback in Levis. I'm interested to see where or when they will make a change to Rudolph because Levis is just dude. He's awful. He is very
Yeah,
bad.
he's just he can't stop making bad mistakes.
Like does bad mistakes. Bad mistakes. Not just a mistake, just like a bad
Yeah,
mistake. So
yeah, but
in that sense of the whatever, I'm not betting the Titans, but I'm also not betting the Bills. It's a 10-point spread and underdogs of over 6 or 6.5 points have been dominant this year. So
no,
I'm
yeah,
just I'm kind of gonna stay away here. Definitely not a
mhm.
game I'm really too interested in.
Yeah, and the only thing I would say about the Bills is they ran the ball all over a Jets defense that's supposed to be really good without James Cook.
Yeah, Ray
Uh,
Davis.
yeah, Ray Davis ran all over them. Ty Johnson had a couple good plays. So it makes me lean that way, but 9 points is just too much in the NFL, and I have no interest in that.
Mhm.
Next game is Houston at Packers. This is the only game, arguably, that could compete with the Lions and the Vikings in this slate, at least. Uh, Packers are laying 3 at home, so it's basically a pick 'em if you take out home field advantage, in my opinion. with a total set at 47.5. Packers are 4-2. Houston Texans are 5-1, as we talked about earlier. I don't know, man. Jordan Love looked really good. CJ Stroud looks really good. Texans defense looks really good. Packers defense is taking the ball away more than anyone in the NFL. This is going to be an absolute classic, in my opinion, and I do not want to bet it for that reason.
I'm actually gonna bet it.
What you got?
Where do you think I'm leaning here? What do you think? Where do you think I'm going here?
I would guess you're going to take 3 points with the Texans.
Good. I'm happy you said that because give me the fucking Packers.
I don't hate it. I got futures on the Packers, so
yeah, I don't. It's just so in the grand scheme of things. I mean, yeah, the Texans dominated the Pats last week, but it just watching the game, it didn't feel like they really dominated outside of that beginning of that first quarter. You know what I'm saying? Like the Pats turned the ball over too much, and I think that was more so the Pats being bad than the Texans being good. Um, I think going into this week, this is going to be a challenge for this Texans offense without Nico Collins, especially with Jair
yeah.
Alexander and this defense for the Packers, like the most takeaways in the NFL. So I think they'll
Mm-hmm.
struggle there a little bit. And yeah, I think this Packers team offensively will just ultimately outscore this Texans team. Yeah,
So
that's my play for the week.
are you
One of them.
laying the 3 or are you taking the money line at minus 148?
I will be taking the points. I'll be laying the
Oof.
points.
Mm.
I don't know. I can't. At 2.5, just I'm betting them to
It's up.
win by
It's
a
up.
field
Yeah,
goal.
it's up.
You know,
It's up to 3 on DK, so you could buy it to 2.5. If I was going to take the Packers, I'd take the money line. But I do love Jordan Love. I
yeah,
think. I think he's going to be by the end of the year. He's going to be in conversation for top 5, top 3 quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion.
yeah,
He is just. He's just so good.
yeah. Dude's really good, and especially because it's not like he has like solidified like top 10 target in the NFL. You know, he's doing it with Tucker Kraft. He's doing it with. I mean, Jaden Reed is definitely emerging.
Jane
Um,
Reed is a playmaker, but
definitely emerging.
Christian Watson can't stay on the field. Romeo
Yeah,
Dubs is a good wide receiver, but he's not
yeah.
a
He's hot and cold.
$30 million a year type of guy. Like,
Exactly.
and even Wicks, I mean, he just makes it work. And they have Jacobs in the backfield. This Packers team is scary, man. I think
It is.
Jordan Love could be a fucking problem in the next
Yeah, you
5-10 years.
can. Yes, you can, dude. The Packers do all right with quarterbacks. I'll tell you that much.
Yes, they do. All right. Well, I don't hate your pick there, but I probably myself would lay the money on it. But let's move on. We got Cincinnati at Cleveland. Bengals are laying 6 on the road with a total set at 41.5. I actually do have a play on this game. It is not a side, but I'm taking the over 41.5.
Oh,
Um, Browns defense was supposed to be really good at the beginning of the year. I think all faith is lost. They just trade their best wide receiver and pretty much best weapon on
yeah,
offense. But there is a possibility that Nick Chubb starts this week. Um,
yeah,
Probably not on full, but I mean, it's Nick Chubb. And we know since he can score, and their defense is not very good either. So I think both teams could easily score 20 points in this game. So
yeah,
I'm going to take the 41.5 over.
yeah. I mean, fair. Not a bad breakdown. I think you're kind of hitting the nail on the head there with the thought process. I'm just always scared to take, especially the AFC North divisional matchup. I don't like playing overs. I don't know. I just feel like for some reason those games always. I'm 0-1 betting those this year, but for some reason those games always seem to be dogfights. And it's not offensive dogfights.
Hmm.
In the trenches kind of dogfights, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean you kind of hit it. Like Browns are kind of throwing in the towel. They just traded Amari Cooper. I think they know that Deshaun Watson is not going to bring them to anywhere where they want to be and spending all that money. So I feel like they're kind of saving face here, trading Cooper, getting some draft picks, and kind of moving on and kind of tanking here. So with that being said, yeah, the Bengals will definitely score some points. So yeah, I don't mind that pick. I don't mind that pick. Definitely not touching its side here.
Nope.
100% not
No,
touching
thank
its
you.
side. I am all set.
And we know Joe Burrow's records against the Browns, which is not good. He's like 1-8 or some shit like that.
Yep.
2-7 maybe.
Weird.
Another NFC East, or excuse me, that was not NFC East. That was AFC North. This is NFC East. Philly at the Giants. Philly laying 3 on the road with the total set at 43. I do have a pick in this game, and I'm going to take the Giants plus the 3.
Yeah, man. I like it.
It's gross. I just don't trust this Philly team. And
Yeah.
I think the Giants' defense has been good, and I really think that Daniel Jones has been solid. I mean, he's not a stud, but he's been playing good enough. I think Malik Neighbors is going to be back in this game, and they're at
Mhm.
home, so I'll take 3 points at home with the Giants.
Yeah, no, I like that. And I mean, you've expressed your concerns with this Eagles team, and I've kind of been right by your side there. I mean, they have not looked good, and um, like week one, they beat the Packers. I think they should have lost that game. Week three, they beat the Saints by 3 points. Um, they very well could have lost that game, and even last week they could have lost that game. So we're looking at a 3-2 team that very well could be 1-4. I wouldn't say 0-5, but 1-4, 2-3, even. So I think they're kind of lucky to have a winning record at this point. And the Giants, and if you kind of watch their games, they sucked. They kind of sucked early on, but the last couple of games, I honestly don't think Daniel Jones has played all that bad. The emergence of Tyrone Tracy in the backfield, um,
And
Malik Neighbors,
Singletary's supposed to be back this week too.
yeah. But I would use both of them 50-50, kind
Mm-hmm.
of that Tracy's playing great, and Neighbors coming back. Wandale Robinson is playing phenomenal this year. So this Giants team, man, they're not bad. Take them at home +3. I might ride you with that.
Yeah, and you can even argue. I mean, they lost their kicker against the Commanders in week
Yeah,
2 or 3 or whatever that was,
could have won that
and
game.
that was a very close game. They could have won that game easily. So
Yeah,
I like points at home in a divisional matchup against a Philly team that has clearly shown its dysfunction.
yeah. Well, definitely.
Next game is Seattle at Atlanta. Seahawks are getting 3 on the road at the Falcons with a total set at 51. I got nothing here. I bet on the Seahawks a couple times, but they have not come through. And I wouldn't be surprised if they come through here, but I'm not gonna play it here.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I don't have anything in this battle of the birds, Seahawks Falcons. Nothing really sticks out to me. I know the Falcons are kind of feel like they're hitting their stride a little bit, scoring their points. They're getting London more involved. Bijan kind of popped off this last game. Um, Defensively, though, I feel like they should be a little bit better on that side of the ball. Um,
Both
giving up,
teams, you could argue.
yeah, like the Buccaneers have a good offense, but giving up 30 points to them, it's a lot. Even giving up 20 points to Andy Dalton and the Panthers, that's a lot. 24 to the Saints, that's a lot. So um, I feel like they should be a better team defensively. So I don't really like it, but the over is kind of tempting at 51. It's a lot of points, but I don't see this game being under that total. I think we see some points here.
Yeah. Next game, Miami at Indy. Miami catching 3. Total set at 43.5. Tua still about a week out from his return. I think Anthony Richardson is set to start for this game, as well as Joe Flacco has played. But with the inconsistency at quarterback for both teams, I will be laying off this one.
Yeah, no interest here for me. Not enough consistency from either team there to really like the spot, So I'm all set. I'll pass.
Yeah. Yeah, and last week I had the Titans against the Colts, assuming Anthony Richardson was going to go, and he did not. Joe Flacco was the starter. It boned me. Moving on to the second highest spread of the week, it is Washington Commanders hosting the Carolina Panthers. They're laying 8 points, hosting the Commanders with a total set at 51.5. I've done it every week, so I'm going to continue to do it because it's been working out. I'm going to take the over 51.5. Every Washington game, I've been taking the over. Good offense, bad defense. Carolina has shown that they can put up a decent amount of points, so I'll take the over 51.5 here in this game.
Yeah, ever since changing over to Dalton, this offense looks, not great, but not bad. Not as bad as it was, right? The Commanders' offense is clearly explosive. The run game, they're deep. Daniels has shown he's a player. He's elite, and McLaurin's kind of coming into his own here. Getting comfortable with that offense, and Jaden Daniels, definitely becoming his favorite target. I can see a lot of points here. I don't know. I feel like I lean the Panthers though, plus the 8. Just given that they could score a little bit and maybe keep up the pace. I don't love it enough to make it a play right now, but maybe something I add.
Oh, yeah, I was on them early, but they kind of flamed out a little bit. I think the book is out on Andy, so give me the over. Andy will put up 2 or 3 touchdowns, and Jaden has proven that he can score. And I think Brian Robinson Jr. will be back this week as well.
Mm-hmm.
So give me the over there. It's been working out so far the past few weeks. Next game, that was the first afternoon game, by the way.
Yep.
Next game at 4:05 is the Raiders at the Rams. Rams are laying 6.5 currently with a total set at 43.5. Cooper Kupp is set to come back. Obviously, Devontae Adams is gone. I don't have a play here. It's just tough to judge with all the shit going on in Las Vegas and the injury problems with the Rams. You don't know if Cooper's going to play, and probably until game time, I would guess, or
Yeah.
at least until Saturday.
Yeah. I'd say. Just kind of keep note. As soon as he gets a full practice, I think he'd be good to go. But I am completely out on this game.
Yeah,
The one
no
the one
thanks.
in 4 Rams are laying points, laying that many points. They shouldn't lay that many points against any team, I don't think. But dude, Raiders are an absolute dumpster fire. So
Yeah, and I believe it's going to be Aiden O'Connell again, starting at quarterback. So
yeah,
no thanks.
yeah, all set aboard that train.
If anything, I'd lead towards the over
Yeah, I can see that.
43.5. Next game, another marquee game with the 2 and the 1 o'clock. This is the one in the afternoon slate. Chiefs at Niners. Niners are favored, laying 1.5 at home with the total set at 47. I got nothing. I'm going to sit back and watch this. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. Obviously, the Niners have shown their vulnerabilities, but it is a Super Bowl rematch game. And I could easily see the Niners coming out and being pissed off and winning this game by fucking 10 points, honestly. But I could also see the Chiefs winning. So, no thanks.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. I lean the Niners. I know the Chiefs are 5-0, and I mean, they're taking care of business at the end of the day, right? Week 1, Ravens. I think I talked about this last week or a week before. They were a quarter of an inch from going to overtime, potentially losing that game. Bengals, probably the right call, pass interference, won that game. They were losing. Falcons, there's a potential PI in the end zone. The Falcons late in the game. Good they get the ball on the 1 yard line. Falcons probably could have, maybe should have won that game. Playing at the Chargers, Herbert got banged up the week before. Chargers only put up 10 points. They won 17-10, pushed that spread. Saints, seeing them beat the Saints handily, 26-13 before their bye week. Heading into this week, makes me feel a little bit better about the Chiefs in the long run here. But being 5-0, I don't really think I don't really think the 5-0 shows how close their games and where they could be if a couple of things don't go their way, type of deal. And I think it's kind of the opposite for the Niners too. They've kind of been injury ridden, 3-3. I think they're a much better team than a 500 team in this league. So give me the Niners -1. I'll play that.
Yeah, you got money line at -122 if you want to take that as well. That concludes the afternoon games. We have 2 Monday night games this week as well.
Yep.
But Sunday night is Jets at Steelers. Jets get Devontae Adams, and the Steelers are now starting Russell Wilson. That is the word, with the Jets laying 1.5 on the road and a total set at 38. I can't get a read on this Steelers team. They're 4-2 with Justin Fields, and now they want to switch up the quarterback. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, where my thoughts have always laid with Fields. He's proved me wrong this year. At this point, 4-2, leading this team, 10 touchdowns, 1 pick. I think he's added three or 4 rushing touchdowns on the ground.
He's got 5 and 5 passing, 5 rushing.
Oh, so that the 10 is combined.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I saw. So 10 touchdowns, 1 pick. So he's played well. I don't think, even if Russell's healthy, given that start for Fields and given the team start, you don't make that change. Seems a little bit outrageous to me. Like, I don't know why they're doing that.
It's ridiculous.
Unless Russell in practice is just the Russell Wilson of old for whatever stupid reason that, what I'm saying?
But he's not. We already saw it in Denver. He's not.
I know, exactly. That's why I'm confused about this. But that's the only reason where I'd see that being the reason why you make this change, given what your team is right now and where you're at. You know what I'm saying? Like, This seems a little drastic. Exactly. You know where I stand with the whole Fields thing. He's proved me wrong this year, and I'll be the first one to say that, right? So, yeah, I don't really understand it. Definitely don't understand it.
Yeah, and I'm also done betting on the Jets.
Correct.
By the way.
Correct.
I don't care if they have Devontae Adams. I think Rodgers is a prick. And he doesn't do what's best for the team. So.
Yeah.
And then Monday night, we'll just talk about them real quick because we usually tweet them out anyways. I don't have picks for Monday night. It's the Ravens at the Bucks. The Ravens are favored by 3.5 on the road. Total set at 49.5. That is screaming over, in my opinion. And then Chargers at the Cardinals. Chargers -2.5 on the road. Again, 2 home dogs on Monday night with the total set at 43.5. Marvin Harrison should be back with concussion in that one. I got nothing there. I think my favorite play out of the sides and totals would be the over in the Ravens and Bucks game, but I got nothing there. I'll probably tweet it out on Monday.
Yep. Similar there. I'll probably end up tweeting it out Monday. Yeah, 2 fantastic games. I know that the Cardinals are only 2-4 this year, but they've played teams tough, and I mean their offense has potential to be super explosive. But no, I'm looking forward to this Monday night, big time. Should be a great Monday night slate.
Hell yeah, brother. Well,
Yes,
that
sir.
concludes this episode of the DeGents podcast.
Yeah, like, subscribe, listen, give us feedback, constructive criticism, ask questions.
Comment. Give me some comments. I want some comments.
Yeah, let's see it, and I'll comment back. I'll call you all assholes because I'm a DGent.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Good shit. Let's cash some bets this weekend. Good luck. Thanks for
Need it this
watching.
weekend. Need it this weekend.
Hit that bell in the bottom corner for
Oh,
notifications every time we put out a video. Every Thursday, video has been coming out. We'll keep to that. Good luck, everyone. Thanks for watching.
go
Peace.
Celtics.
Fuck yeah. And Bruins.
Yes, sir.